Hello everyone, welcome to my class. Myself Janisha from Sciences of Composite PU College, Vijaypur. In the previous episode, we have learned that some of the important questions from this chapter. That is regarding the investment function, consumption function, and also the term meaning of MPC, MPS, APC as well as the APS and aggregate demand concept. Today in this session I am going to discuss about three important questions from this chapter. Then let me start this session. The questions are: first one, briefly explain the supply side of macroeconomic equilibrium. Question number 2, write a note on multiplier mechanism. And the last question is write note on paradox of a thrift. So these are the three questions. This is also for 4 marks questions. Then let me discuss about these questions. Supply side of macroeconomic equilibrium. See dear students, as you know that macroeconomics means what? That is the study of a whole. Yes, complete study. And in the market forces there are two sides, demand side as well as the supply side. Then what is the condition of macroeconomic equilibrium in the supply side? So those things we'll discuss in this session. In the first stage of macroeconomics theory, we are taking the price level as fixed, right? So in the first stage of macroeconomic theory, so in the macroeconomic theory, we are taking or we are concerned about price level is fixed, means price is fixed. Here aggregate supply or the GDP is assumed to smoothly move up or down since they are unused resources of all types available. Means what? Aggregate supply means what? Total supply, or the GDP is assumed. How? That is smoothly move up or down since they are unused resources of all types available. So that whatever is the level of a GDP, that much will be supplied and price level has a role to play. As you know that in the beginning only, under the macroeconomic theory, price level is fixed, right? But under this macroeconomic equilibrium, whatever the level of a GDP, whatever, that much will be supplied. Means how much the level of a GDP, so that much what we need to supply, and the price level now it play a major role. And this type of supply situation we can observe, that is in the 45-degree line. You can see here, this is what 45-degree line. So this says that what the aggregate supply level. So how it depends? That is on the basis of the level of GDP. Means how much the GDP level included, that much the supply will be possible, and also the price level has been played a major role. And here in this diagram we can observe that this what 45-degree line, this is what shows that the aggregate supply. And suppose GDP is 1000 at point A, then the goods also supplied, that is 1000 worth. That means what? If GDP is whatever level, that much level supplied, means the supply will be possible. So that one example here, if the GDP is at 1000 at the point A, then the supply will also be 1000 worth. So this is what the supply side of macroeconomic equilibrium. So here we need to remember that it's nothing but, so price is fixed at the level of first stage, so that what the aggregate supply, that is depend upon the GDP. Means if the GDP level is high, then the supply also high. If the GDP level is low, then the supply also low. Means on the basis of the level of a GDP, what the level of a supply can be determined. Okay, so this only we express this help of diagram also, that 45-degree line that shows about the supply. Yes, students. So this is for the 4 marks question. Next, we will discuss about the second question, that is briefly explain the multiplier mechanism. Multiplier mechanism works on principle that more the consumption expenditure, more will be income generated. So what is the main key point of multiplier mechanism? That is one of the principle is nothing but that is more the consumption expenditure, then more will be income generated. So if more consumed means more income will be generated. This is what the concept of a multiplier mechanism. And the multiplier process works on the following principles. Then let me discuss what are the principles of a multiplier mechanism. So the following are the principles of multiplier mechanism. First one, investment generates income, means first principle is nothing but investment which generates income. Second one, additional income causes a change in consumption. That means if an individual he earns extra income, then his purchasing power or his consumption expenditure also change. Third one, change in consumption depends on marginal propensity to consume, means his consumption expenditure, means his change in consumption, that is depends upon mainly MPC. And fourth one, additional consumption expenditure generates, means extra, okay, so marginal consumption expenditure which generates additional income for producers of goods and services. Why? Because if extra or additional income generated to the individual, then his desires or his wants or his demand also increases. As a result, his expenditure, means consumption, purchasing power also changes. That is what it is benefit to the producers. Why? Because producers will earn extra income or additional income by selling their goods and services. And fifth one, this process keeps repeating till the total increase in income is equal to product of multiplies and change in investment. That means this process, what process? That is multiplier process. This keeps on repeating till the total increase in income is equal to the product. Means total income whatever it is there, that is equal to the product of a multiplier multiplies and change in the investment. So this is what the principle of a multiplier. The production of final goods employs factors like a labor, capital, land as well as organization. Means as you know that the 4 factors of production: land, labor, capital and organization. So these 4 factors of production we are used for the production of finished goods or the final goods. And also in the absence of indirect taxes or subsidies, the total volume of final goods output is distributed among the among the different sectors, that is on the basis of factor payment like wages, interest, rent and also the profit to the organization. And this can be expressed with one help of example. The value of extra or the additional output, that is 10, is distributed among various factors as factor payments, and here income of the economy goes up by 10. Yes, if the factors of payment is distributed among the among the individual, then his income also increases, right? So then the income of the economy also goes up by 10. So that when income increases by 10, then consumption expenditure is also goes up by, that is 0.8. Because I said already, if additional income is generated means automatically the consumption expenditure also increases. So that we can say that if income is increases by 10, then automatically what increases, that is consumption expenditure also go up by 0.8. Hence, in the next round, aggregate demand in the economy goes up by 0.8 to, and consumption demand increases further, that is by 0.8 to 10. Okay, So that we can say that aggregate demand in the economy it is goes up by 0.8. Okay, and also the consumption demand also increases, that is from 0.8 to 10, and once again creating the excess demand of the same amount. And this process goes on round after round, with the producers increasing their output to clear excess demand in each round, and consumers spending a part of their additional income from the extra production on consumption items. So this process will be going on like this, so that the consumers will get about their commodities or the goods and services by spending the additional income, and also the producers will also get additional income by selling their production or the final goods to the individual. So this process we can say that multiplier. So simply we can say that multiplier is nothing but the situation of income generating to both the Now next we will discuss about the third question, that is write a note on a paradox of a thrift. Paradox thrift is said to be a situation where people tend to save more money, and this form of increased saving leads to reduced consumption, and as a result there is a decrease in aggregate consumption. So what is this paradox of thrift? Paradox of thrift, it said that it is a situation where people tend to save more money, means people ready to tend save more money, and this form of increased saving leads to reduce the consumption, and as a result there is decrease in the aggregate consumption. Means the people are ready to save more, but that saving it is not helpful to the economy, because they are spending or the consumption expenditure will be reduces. As a result, aggregate economic consumption that will also decreases. So this situation is called as paradox of a thrift. Such a system of savings will lead to decrease in level of employment and reduce the total savings of the economy, and which slows down growth of the economy. And this is one of the central component of Keynesian economics. So remember, paradox of thrift, that situation, it will slowly decrease the level of employment or the total savings of the economy, and also slow down the growth of the economy. So paradox of thrift, which we can also define like this: if all the people of the economy increase the proportion of income, means if everybody's income will be increases, they save the total values of the savings in the economy. Means if their income is increases and also personally they are saving money, but it will not increase the total values of savings in the economy. Means it will not increase, or it will either decline or it remain unchanged. Means why? Because if an individual, if he spend money for purchasing goods and services, then automatically the total volume of economy's savings level also increases. But here it is not possible. Under the paradox of thrift, here all the people of the economy, they will save, but they are not ready to spend money for the consumption of goods and services, and as a result it will create a huge loss to the total volume of the economy. So this is called as paradox of a thrift. Paradox of thrift states that as become people thriftier, they end up saving less or save as before. Means people become thriftier as well as they maybe end up their saving less or same as before, and this result though sounds apparently impossible and is actually a simple application of the model we have learnt. Now this we can express with one example here. Suppose initial equilibrium is 250. Suddenly MPS means marginal propensity saving, that should be increases. Okay. And as a result, MPC means marginal propensity to consume, that is decreases according to this concept. Okay. decreases, that is from 0.8 to 0.5. At the initial income level, what? Aggregate demand is equal to Y1 is equal to 250, means that is 250 is the initial income level, and this decline means sudden decline of MPC will result in decrease in the consumption expenditure or the consumption spending, and hence we can say that AD means aggregate demand is what? 0.8 minus 0.5. This is what? 0.8 minus 0.5 means that is decrease of MPC. Okay, and initial income is what? 250, as a result 75. So 75 is what? This is what the aggregate demand. So aggregate demand will be now 75. This reduction is regarded as a autonomous reduction in consumption expenditure to the extent of a change is what? MPC. Now aggregate demand is decreases by 75 and it falls short of the output, that is equal to 250, and emerges an excess supply that is equal to the 75 in the economy. So this situation is to be considered as what? That is paradox of thrift. Okay students, so this is up to 3 questions should be completed from this part. So now almost all what 4 marks important questions should be covered in this chapter. So in the next episode we will continue further new chapter regarding the revision session part, and also need to practice this 3 question also. Okay, so these 3 questions for this week's assignment, and you need to write in the what assignment book and submit on time. Thank you.